This is Cashology by FNBO, a podcast devoted to the art and science of managing your money. It's like school, but your only homework is living your best financial life. Class is now in session. Banks play an important role in their communities. Yes, banks provide financial products and services for individuals and for businesses, but what else do they do? When a bank is truly in tune with its customers, employees, and community partners, it does a lot more than offer checking and savings accounts, and a lot more than mortgage and business loans. A bank that's fully engaged impacts a community on multiple levels and helps individuals find financial prosperity and helps businesses shine. Today, we're talking about Impact by FNBO, the Community and Corporate Social Responsibility Program at First National Bank of Omaha. Welcome, and thanks for listening to the Cashology podcast, hosted by your guide on the path to financial savvy, me, Julie Wyans. Before we dig into the topic, let's give some room for our disclosures.
Thanks, Julie. We'd like to inform our contestants and studio audience the rules of today's game. Let's see what they've won. Investment products are not FDIC insured, not a deposit or other obligation of the bank, not insured by any federal government agency, not guaranteed by the bank, may lose value. This podcast should not be copied or reproduced without permission. Information and statements within this podcast are subject to change without notice. The Cashology podcast is for informational purposes only and is not intended to constitute investment advice or recommendations. First National Bank of Omaha does not make any representation or warranty as to the accuracy or completeness of any information or statements within this podcast. When making decisions about your financial situation, consult a financial professional for advice. Podcasts are not regularly updated, and information may become outdated. Deposit products are offered by First National Bank of Omaha, member FDIC, equal housing lender. The Cashology podcast, copyright First National Bank of Omaha. Back to you, Julie.
Today, I'd like to introduce our guest, Spencer Danner, VP of Corporate Social Responsibility. Welcome, Spencer.
Thank you for having me.
We are very excited to have you because you are absolutely our subject matter expert at FNBO regarding how to give back to our communities. And I think we do an incredible job of it. So kudos to you.
Well, it's a great way to share what we do with nonprofits, local businesses, and individuals who also may be looking for financial education or home ownership education. So this is a great opportunity for us to share that.
Absolutely. And we have so many resources and so many people who are working for this cause that I'm so excited to talk about it today. So let's talk about Impact by FNBO. I mean, what an incredible name. Can you talk to us more about this program?
Yes. Right to the point, huh? Our goal as an organization is to help people have access to the tools, resources, and opportunities they need to be successful. So we actively try to embrace our role and responsibilities as an employer, as a bank, and a community partner. We kind of believe that if you are going to have successful communities, your bank has to be successful in what they do in order to help drive that. So we love the name. We love Impact by FNBO because it does help us strive to make that positive impact in every community we serve.
Absolutely. I can hear the passion in your voice, Spencer. And I think that is a resounding type of feeling amongst our employees at FNBO. I think we really believe in this group and what we do at FNBO. It's, one of the pillars of our organization. And I really, I love the little things too that we as employees are able to do to make an impact, not only from a bank-wide standpoint, just like me as an individual. I'm allowed one day a year for a day of caring to volunteer at my place of choice. And I know my manager will always support that. So I think it's incredible that from the top down, everyone believes in this mission. So tell us more about how FNBO impacts our communities in a positive way.
Well, actually, bridging off of something that you just said, I think it is extremely important that when your leadership buys into what's important, and how we impact our community, it does give a lot more excitement for our employees to be a lot more engaged. So we impact our communities in many different ways, whether it's affordable housing and neighborhood stability, environmental sustainability. We also look at workforce development and looking at an education standpoint, not just an overall education, but how we actually help our community members in different ways when it comes to education. We also look at health and well-being. I think nowadays, especially after the pandemic, the health and well-being of individuals in our community is a priority, and it's something that we truly, truly care about. Everyone should also have access to safe and affordable quality housing. And so when you're looking at revitalization of distressed neighborhoods and that community development and that community reinvestment, we're looking at opportunities on how we can have sustainable long-term impacts in all of our communities across our entire footprint. Neighborhoods are still built around whether it's home ownership, small business, and that long-term stability relies on people being able to afford a home or be able to put food on their table, be able to provide transportation, be able to have the ability to utilize daycare opportunities. And I think the overall growth of those individuals in our community is what's important for us. Again, if they're successful, we're successful. So we try to make sure that on every level, we provide that stability that our communities need.
Spencer, that's incredible because, our mission to impact our communities is so multifaceted, like you said. And I think it's awesome that you highlighted that. And when we think about it, as a bank, we have such a strong and important obligation to our community, from our customers to our non-customers to where our branches are present to the businesses that inhabit where we live as well. So I'd like to talk more about how we help businesses because I think you touched a lot about how we impact individuals. So let's talk about small businesses.
Well, owning your own business is a great source of pride for anyone. And the spirit of entrepreneurship is very crucial for all of our local economies. So we look at entrepreneurship, we look at that small business development, and we know that it is the backbone of America. It helps create jobs in our U.S. economy, and it really does impact from the ground up. Everyday people are starting businesses, especially again through the pandemic. We see a lot of people that are now business owners more than any time in the history before. We have more small business owners now. And those small business owners need technical assistance, and we help provide that for entrepreneurs and small businesses. We help provide support for local training programs and education programs in almost every facet of running a business, which is going to be important. It's not about just the financing that you need to run a business, but it's that administrative help, that back office help, how to actually run a P&L. How do you grow that? How you grow your finances or get inventory and supplies, furnitures and fixtures, things that you need to ensure sustainability of your business. We even purchase products and services to help support businesses from a lot of our small business owners, women business owners, minority, and even veteran-owned businesses as an organization, because we truly believe in the growth of small businesses.
You touched upon this briefly, but we also have education and workforce development to further help with employing those businesses, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Business of all types need more people to fill those positions. So our efforts in education and workforce development certainly helps with that. We partner with all kinds of community organizations who provide access to educational opportunities that the people need and take that next step also into adult education, learn about money and finances, job training and new skills, job application and interview skills, whether it's building your resume and making sure it's the best resume possible. That knowledge is priceless and everyone benefits across the entire footprint when we are completely sold and invested in the workforce of all of our communities.
Absolutely. I want to harken back on that point I made earlier. I just feel so honored to work at FNBO where I've been able to do quite a bit of impact and create quite a bit of impact for the community. I've helped build a home with Habitat for Humanity. I have helped financial literacy classes for high schoolers. And even I remember I helped in interview skills for those who are experiencing homelessness. I mean, such a diverse opportunity to connect with people in our community and help in any way that I can and share my talents with them, which is something that I always find that FNBO fosters for us as employees. So I really appreciate hearing from you, Spencer, on globally how we help everyone, the multifaceted approach to our efforts in helping communities near and far. And then, I want to end on a note, just an understanding. What else would you want our listeners to hear about Impact by FNBO?
For over 160 years, we have really have been impacting the communities that FNBO has been a part of. Our community development program also supports the environment, which is something that we're seeing in news even as recently as yesterday about this glacier that is melting more quickly, that could be a huge environmental impact. What are we doing as an organization to recognize the impact of the decisions and the things that we do as an employer that impacts our environment? So we're looking at including with our own efforts of conserving energy, conserving water and waste. We've even set a goal to achieve net zero scope 1 and 2 greenhouse gas emissions by 2035. We also look at access to arts and culture and really how it really impacts the mental stability of our communities. I think as we've talked about before throughout the pandemic, the mental health of our communities is extremely important. And we understand it as a bank, and that's something that we're vested in. The overall community cohesion of all of our demographics working together, all of our economies working together, whether it's a high income, low income, middle income, like we want to make sure that we are investing in our entire community. Think of it as events, activities, and unique initiatives that are important to every local community, because every community has its own personality. And it's up to us as an organization to really identify and buy into that we can really personalize the impact of each of our community. The value we bring and support those differences, that's where that value initiative that we have at FNBO. And I'm excited about that.
Spencer, you have been an incredible guest. I am so happy that we were able to chat today. And I want to make sure that our listeners know you had mentioned some opportunities in regards to how we help small businesses. And I believe there's a website our listeners could go to if they're interested.
Absolutely. FNBO.com/impact. And then in that top banner, you'll receive a request support button. If you'd like to be able to request support, you'll find a lot of information there. Nonprofits can apply online for support, and local businesses can learn more and then potentially talk to a business banker about different ways to help support their business, but also to help them qualify for a business loan. I think that once you talk to any First National mortgage loan officer about their programs, you can also see what we can do from a housing standpoint. Any of our mortgage loan officers can also help figure out getting you qualified as well.
Amazing. Don't hesitate to utilize those assets. And, this has been an excellent time discussing how to make an impact in your community, how FNBO helps with our communities. I just want to thank everyone for listening, and thank you, Spencer, for being a great guest.
Awesome. Thank you for having me. I really appreciate the time.
And don't forget, everyone, to subscribe and keep an eye out for more Cashology episodes coming your way soon.